Have you ever wondered why Revelation 14:4 highlights a group of 144,000 as virgins, as pure, as following the Lamb wherever he goes? Who are they really, and what does it mean to be pure in God's eyes? Today, we're about to uncover a hidden code within Revelation, a secret guarded by angels, revealing why this purity is priestly, heavenly, and eternal. By the end of this video, you'll see a path to holiness and consecration that most believers never understand. A path the 144,000 will walk in, and the Spirit is calling you to step into today. Stay with me because this is the hidden reality most Christians miss. Revelation 14:4 says, "These are they which are not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto God and to the Lamb." Let's look at the language. Firstfruits, virgins, following the Lamb wherever he goes. This is not poetic. This is priestly, heavenly language. Angels in Jewish apocalyptic literature are described as performing priestly service in heaven, doing things like offering incense, singing, and even standing before God's throne. The 144,000 are called to mirror this angelic purity on earth. Here's the distinction. Earthly priests, like the Levitical priests, could marry. Holiness required consecration, but celibacy was not necessary. Angelic priests, on the other hand, are immortal. They're pure and physically virgins, existing solely to minister before God. One scholar notes that the 144,000 reflect this angelic priestly pattern. Their virginity signals them being wholly consecrated and devoted. This is not just merely abstinence. The watchers, which are inverse of the 144,000, defiled themselves, leaving their heavenly assignment and mixing with humanity. The 144,000 are the opposite. They're undefiled, standing as holy ministers before God, much like the Levites were consecrated for sacred service. The virginity of the 144,000 is more than sexual abstinence, though. It's spiritual consecration and total devotion, echoing the angelic pattern of service in heaven. Now, let me clarify something important. The virginity of the 144,000 is spiritual, not necessarily literal. This is about being undefiled and wholly devoted and set apart for God's purposes. This spiritual virginity reflects the angelic priesthood, untainted by compromise. Paul speaks of the church as a pure virgin devoted to Christ in 2 Corinthians. So when Paul says this, it's not literal sexual abstinence for all believers. It signifies undivided devotion, loyalty, and consecration to the Lamb. Likewise, the 144,000 are marked by spiritual fidelity, inner purity, and readiness to follow the Lamb wherever he goes. Their virginity is about total devotion, reflecting heavenly service. Virginity in Scripture often relates to holiness and priestly devotion. Paul writes in 1 Corinthians 7 that the unmarried can devote themselves undividedly to the Lord. Another scholar notes that virginity and priesthood reflects spiritual integrity and readiness to have an encounter with God and separation from worldly compromise. Similar to the earthly priest who could marry, the 144,000 reflect the angelic model, fully devoted, wholly pure, and standing before God without distraction. In Revelation 15:2-3, the saints stand on a sea of glass, singing the song of Moses and the song of the Lamb. Angels are eternal priestly intercessors. They offer worship to God and they guard God's holiness. The 144,000 participate in this angelic priesthood. Their virginity signals uncompromised devotion, authority, and readiness to serve God at any moment. This heavenly pattern calls for total consecration, tested under fire and reflecting the holiness that only the Lamb can perfect. So, how can you follow this pattern? Step number 1, consecration. Set yourself apart from compromise. Step number 2, spiritual virginity. Guard your heart and mind and devote your life entirely to God. Step number 3, priestly service. Intercede, worship, and minister to the Lord. Step number 4, endurance under persecution. Purity is refined through trials, and perseverance is essential. Virginity is separation for God's glory, preparing for intimacy with the Lamb, and authority in ministry. The 144,000 are sealed, marked by God's glory, and the seal signals both protection and priestly identity. Revelation 22:4 tells us they will see God's face and bear his name on their foreheads. This is priestly intimacy, the reward of purity. Virginity, firstfruits, and priestly consecration are a unified code of heavenly devotion, honored by angels and rewarded by the Lamb. The Spirit of God is calling, be set apart, be consecrated, ascend in holiness, mirror the heavenly priesthood on earth. Watch this video next, and I'll see you there.